This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.
I'm Katie Ramble with your top stories from ABC 15 Arizona. A record day for COVID-19 in Arizona, of course, besides Tuesday's incredibly high outlier, which was due from a delay from Thanksgiving reporting. Today marks the most new cases since the pandemic began. The more than 5,000 new cases comes as we see a decrease in testing, but an increase in people needing care in our hospitals, inpatient care numbers, the highest since late July. In northeastern Arizona, the Navajo Nation extending their lockdown due to their spike in cases. President Jonathan Nez says he'll ask the White House for a major disaster declaration, which could provide much needed resources to handle this surge. Health experts are sounding the alarm, urging Arizonans to do everything they can not to end up in a hospital right now. ABC 15 held a virtual town hall this morning on the winter resurgence of COVID-19. Will Humble, the former state director of public health, saying without new mitigation efforts coming from the governor, hospitals will soon be overwhelmed. Humble adding earlier efforts to reduce the capacity of restaurants, gyms, and theaters were good ideas, but there wasn't even enforcement.
You could go anywhere in town, around the state really, and take a look on weekends and see place after place that are not following the mitigation measures. And because the enforcement wasn't in place for those months, we ended up with a continuous escalation in cases, in part.
Humboldt said vaccinating high-risk populations like nursing home residents will help lower hospitalizations, but that's still weeks or even months away. No fans allowed inside to watch the Fiesta Bowl PlayStation Fiesta Bowl next month. The organization says only family members of the participating teams can be in attendance. They say they want to keep everybody safe. The game will be January 2nd at State Farm Stadium in Glendale. As the excitement for a vaccine builds, federal authorities are getting ready to stop counterfeits from entering our country. U.S. Customs announcing a new mission, Operation Stolen Promise 2.0, searching for imports of fake vaccines. Officials say criminals will be targeting people who are willing to pay to skip the line and get a vaccine sooner, because there's no telling what they'll really be injecting into those potential victims. Phoenix police investigating after officers shot and killed a man during a homicide investigation overnight. Officers called out for a shooting at some apartments near 19th Avenue in Dunlap, but when they got there, they say they found a man dead. When officers tracked down a potential suspect, they say he shot at them, then came out of the apartment with a gun, and that's when 5 officers opened fire, killing that man. It's not clear yet if he is the suspect in the initial investigation. No officers were hurt, but a police dog at the scene was shot. Phoenix PD shared this photo of Dennis recovering, saying he's expected to be okay. A new survey finding some Arizonans may be confused about specifics of the state's emergency evacuation system. It's called Ready, Set, Go. It describes the 3 steps. Ready, having a plan in case of an evacuation. Set, preparing for evacuation when there's an emergency. And then go, meaning it's time to evacuate. The Ecological Restoration Institute interviewed nearly 800 Flagstaff residents after the museum fire destroyed nearly 2,000 acres in Coconino County last year. And while they found about half of people thought the system was clear, about 2 out of 5 people thought they'd be personally contacted by an official when it was time for them to evacuate. The reality is that may not necessarily happen, especially in the event of a fast-moving wildfire. So they say you should be monitoring your local news and looking for updates from authorities to find out if you need to evacuate.
Tracking your forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sellens, and it is going to be a cold night across our state. Check out the freeze warnings overnight for parts of central and western Arizona. All those spots you see on the map here shaded in light blue. Now, as we take a look at these temperatures, we're down to 32 tonight in Casa Grande, 30 in Globe, and temperatures in the single digits up near the Grand Canyon. Window Rock down to 0 tonight. Flagstaff at 11. Temperatures will rebound a bit in the afternoon for the valley. We are in the mid-60s again tomorrow, but high pressure builds in and temperatures will be in the 70s again over the weekend and early next week. There is also another storm system that maybe will bring some rain chances to our state Wednesday night into Thursday. You see those slight chances now. That's the next thing we're going to be tracking, bringing cooler air too, dropping us from the 70s down into the upper 60s by the end of your 7-day forecast.
For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, head to abc15.com or download our free ABC 15 mobile app.
This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.